Yeah. What time is it?
It's right now, live on Rite Now Radio.
Live on Rite Now Radio. Yes, we got the King's Canvas in the building.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, you're going to find how he started the King's Canvas, how he found the common ground, and also a couple of events that have been taking place over here on the west side, and also what led you to West Montgomery. So tell me, I like to start off with first tonight, I wanted to ask you, is that how was the St. Jude to Montgomery and Beyond event? Being I'm a graduate of St. Jude, and it's always great to see the history of St. Jude still get recognized. So, how was that event?
The event was good, man. And this is what I told people when I spoke at St. Jude. I think when that news article came out, I think because of my involvement in West Montgomery and on Oak Street and my involvement in West Montgomery for the past 16 years, I felt like they gave me a little too much credit for the event at St. Jude. And so I didn't want to take credit for those who took part in beautifying that area, but it was a collaborative effort. They did that. We had something going on already to commemorate the 50th year anniversary of the King's Canvas, as well as the 58th anniversary of the 7th of Montgomery March. So I was like, instead of us doing something separate, why don't we just kind of make this one event, just a collaborative effort? And so we coordinated the times, and I think that's how we should focus on working, period, instead of having our own individual ideas about what we think we should do in the community. I think we should have more collaborative efforts, man. So just to kind of have it as one event was pretty cool. A lot of people showed up. We painted the streets. We had some great entertainment. It was great.
Yeah, like you said, I wish people would be more receptive to new ideas, not to stick with the way it's been done for the last 75 years.
Absolutely.
Because to me, that's a good indicator of why stuff is still the same.
Right.
You need to welcome on new ideas, especially from the younger generation on down, and just collab, put all that together. And you're going to have a beautiful canvas that you've been creating over there.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. And, I also saw a new mural in the street over there in front of the King's Canvas. What type of mural is that?
Yeah, so we partnered with artist John One, who came in for Arts in Motion through the Montgomery Arts Project. And so, honestly, we didn't know what we were going to do until that day. He came over, he's done so many of those things, and he's such an awesome creative, bro. He just freestyled in that moment, and so at the top, it's really because, what's that? Yeah, that was off the dome.
Oh, wow.
So at the top, because artists sign that work, right? And so really at the top of it, it says his name and the name of his crew. I think John 157. That's what it says, but one is spelled out O-N-E. And I think after that, he has, and I didn't know he was going to do this. He has the King's Canvas where he has a crown, and under that, he has Montgomery, and underneath that, he has peace and love with the heart in the center. But the way that he did it, he made sure that the letters touch the borders so we can fill in the negative space with different colors. So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Man, that's amazing. So, I know that, you started early on, your artist interest started from almost 5 years old, right? Your grandma allowed you drawing church. But aside from your love from hip hop, I'm a fan of 80s and 90s hip hop R&B myself. I like Tribe Called Quest, Digital Underground. You might look at me like, man, what you know about that? But that's what I listen to.
It's nostalgic, bro. I expect for you to know what it is.
Yeah, even like the Digital Underground. A lot of people don't even know that Tupac was in that group. That's how he got founded. He got discovered.
Right. Absolutely.
But I listen to them. But like, aside from your love from hip hop, what inspired you to become an artist?
Oh, an artist. So I think so. Growing up, it was really my brother, man. It was me at my grandmother's house. He had an art class at school. He was in, I guess, in a 7th, 8th grade around that time, and I would just copy his drawings. And so it started from there, and I just got better and better at it, right? And so, but it started from him. Before I was even in church drawing with my grandmother, drawing sitting beside my grandmother, it was my brother saying, hey, I drew this. Why don't you draw this? He was just trying to spend some time with me. He's 7 years older with me. And it just kind of caught on, and I just loved it, and I kept doing it. And I did it throughout high school, and I would enter national state competitions, and I would actually place. And
Wow.
I was the president of what we call the Renaissance Club at Murphy High School back in Mobile. And we would
Yeah.
do these art shows. And speaking of hip hop, I always drew Tupac because the girls love pop, right?
Yeah.
And
Of
so I would
course.
draw pop along with other stuff. And then I stopped, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but I stopped around 17 because, well-meaning adults told me to pick a real major and get a real job. So I think at that
Mm-hmm.
time, for the
Mm-hmm.
next 16, 17 years, I didn't do anything.
You mean
Until
art wise anyway.
yeah, art wise, until I was an
Oh,
adult.
man, you put it down for that long, but I know, of course, that's the real thing. You expect to hear that from, like, you need to get a real job, like a painter not gonna pay no bills for you. But
Right.
like, how did you figure out, that was really what you wanted to pursue?
So here's the thing. I'm still figuring that out because to take a step back, a lot of people think that the King's Canvas is my own personal art business, but it isn't. It's an arts organization that provides opportunity and access for underdeveloped and underexposed artists. So I don't really get a chance to do my art still a lot. I do have times to create, but because there's a lot to running an organization, because I do this full time. I actually get paid to do the King's Canvas.
Uh-huh. Oh, well,
So this
wow.
is my full
Okay.
time job. And because it's
Man.
my full time job, I just can't say since I started this nonprofit, since I raised some money, since the money coming in, and since my accountants cut me a check every, twice a month, I can just go and paint. No, I can't do that. I just can't sit up and just do artwork in the middle of the day every day, right? We actually have stuff that we have to do and goals
Yeah.
that we have to meet. And so I'm still
Mhm.
trying to figure that part out. But I'm gonna tell you this though, it was when my wife and my daughter purchased me those art supplies Father's Day 2013 at 35 years old, the love for art just kind of came back
Yeah.
because I started actually putting those supplies to use, man. And probably about a year after that, I started selling artwork, and I started selling so much, I realized that I can do this full time. But I said, okay, I can either do art full time and just be a full time artist. But if I did that, I wouldn't have any time to advocate for anybody. I wouldn't have time to change the art ecosystem that didn't accommodate our people at that time. I wouldn't have time to do that. But the advocate in me said, man, I need to just kind of take a break. I still need to do my art as much as I can, but I need to stand up an organization that'll be able to facilitate these opportunities that we need in Montgomery. And
Hmm.
hopefully I can get back to being an artist at some point.
Man,
So
that's perfect. That's right on time. You know what? That was just God talking to you, man.
yeah, it
Through your
was.
family. It
Couldn't
was.
run from it, man. Definitely,
Yeah.
it's definitely a calling. Because if I
Uh-huh.
had my choice, I would have just done my art and just said, man, forget this stuff. I'm gonna just sit and I'm gonna produce. I'm gonna make this money. Because by that time I was working for another organization, so my
Right.
network was a little bit larger than most of the people around me who were just starting out. So it wasn't nothing to do some artwork and just sell work, bro. And
Man.
when I
Uh-huh.
saw that I could actually make really more than what I'm making now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Wow. But I say, you know what? I want other people to experience this too, and I can always get
Mhm.
back, by the grace
Right.
of God, be a full
Yeah.
time artist. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely big on, now allowing my gift not only to benefit me, but others too. You know
right.
what I mean? And I was gonna say, like, what led you to actually stand this up on in West Montgomery of all the places you could have went? 'Cause I'm pretty sure East Montgomery probably offer more money, but like, what led
Well,
you to this?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna bring up the person's name, but downtown
Right?
Montgomery offered me free space,
Uh,
right? But I was living in West Montgomery. I was at the time working for Common Ground Montgomery. I co-founded Common Ground. I was associate director at Common Ground. I lived on Westcott Street, and that was my neighborhood. And
yeah,
so, uh, probably about 2015, 16, I went out to Phoenix, Arizona with some friends to a conference that
yeah.
Art Place America had done, and they brought up this term called creative placemaking.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know what that was at the time, but these guys knew that since I was an artist and a community dude, that it would resonate with me. And I found out that uh, any larger metropolitan area that's ever had any economic progression, they discovered that had always been due to the arts. And so they said the arts drive community and economic development. And this had become a strategy that people had started to use for revitalization and to build up communities. And so when I learned that, I said, yo, if this strategy is working all over the nation, why wouldn't it be able to work in a neighborhood like Washington Park? And I said, I believe we can not only do it in Washington Park, but I think we can do it without gentrifying Washington Park. Right. And
Wow.
so that was like the catalyst that got me to thinking creatively about how to do something different in our community that I knew people wouldn't go quite understand. But the good thing is, because I lived
Good
in that
thing.
neighborhood for so long, those who knew me and knew of me, I knew I would get a pass.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. See, that was a good change over there.
Yeah. But I'm
Good
gonna tell
change.
you this, man. Somebody asked me the question. They said, man, we was riding one day and they said, man, they found out that I had been offered free space downtown. They said, man, why would you want to have it here as opposed to downtown somewhere where it's thriving? I said, man, because our neighborhood deserve to have something beautiful too. I
Thank you.
said,
Thank you. Thank you.
we deserve to have
Thank
people coming over here
you. Thank
for entertainment and all of this stuff, just like they do downtown. And
thank
guess
you.
what? I don't know if you ever been to a nighttime event over there with Just Jeter or John Boy or whomever,
Yeah.
whether it's a
Not yet
daytime
anyway.
event, huh?
Not yet anyway, but I'm
That's
coming.
it. You will, but I'm telling you, those are the comments I get. It's very small, but they say, man, this reminds us of being downtown. I never thought people be sitting out here with blankets and lawn chairs.
Thank
They
you.
got the
Thank
coolers, they got the food
you.
trucks. We
We
deserve to have
deserve
that
that.
too.
We deserve that, man.
Right,
Because see, I grew up over there. As a matter of fact, man, my parents are still over there now. But like
yeah,
when I ride through Carver Park and Mobile Heights, I see so many empty and abandoned houses where
right,
people who I went to school with probably used to live in those houses, but now they're
right.
just sitting there empty, right? I'm thinking like these could be nice homes now. If somebody would just take care of it.
Absolutely.
And just I mean,
Absolutely.
seriously.
They would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, now you know that you finally brought your business over there, and then Rashad Prover brought Prover Prince over there. We finally have something worth going back over there for instead of just trying to move away from. You know what I
Yeah, and
mean?
it's a lot more than that, man. The Brock brothers, Fred and Anthony, they opened up Valiant Books on Oak right next to us.
Oh
So
yeah,
they
yeah, that's right,
opened up,
that's right,
yeah, they
that's
opened
right,
up a
that's
bookstore and
right.
coffee shop, and in that
Yeah,
third spot, I can't tell you online what restaurant because they don't want me to share. But we got a lunchtime restaurant eventually moving in. We got Sione Johnson who has Cut by the Pounds down the street. He bought the
yeah,
old Lane's Kitchen. He opened up a restaurant. They got a 99 health score. They
and
just advertised that on WSFA. You got my boy Guillaume Anthony. We call him G Anthony. Right there at Anthony's Barbershop, his dad's
yeah,
old barbershop. He bought
uh-huh.
the old Jones Appliance store, so he's talking to some funders about what it'll look like to open up a museum now that tells the story of the 7 of Montgomery March from
Man,
the
that's gonna
perspective
be
of the
perfect.
people from the community.
That's
You
gonna
got
be
Astor
perfect.
Monique Robinson down the street
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
change, and so there's a lot,
Hmm.
man. There's a lot that's happening on that street.
Finally, finally.
Yeah,
See, you know what? All that is in with walking distance. You can walk to
yeah,
each
absolutely.
venue. See what I
Yep,
mean? You know what? Honestly, I haven't heard about it being like this. Is probably like during my grandparents' era. They're like in
yeah,
the 70s, 60s. Girl. That's
bro.
all I hear about the good old days. I mean,
Absolutely.
why can't I have the good old days now?
I'm hearing
Why
the
can't
same thing.
why can't the
I,
good old days be going on now?
man,
It's
I had an older
2023.
guy. I had an older guy to tell me, man, over there that he never thought he'd live to see that again. And he flipped over his wrist and did this right here, Rashad. And he was like, man, this neighborhood was dead, but now it has a pulse again.
Yeah,
And he was like, I never thought I'd live to see it. And so that right there brought me a great sense of
that's
joy and
that's
accomplishment. And
strong
we're not
though,
even
man.
done.
That's
We're
strong.
not even done. Yeah.
Not yeah, that's strong right there, man. Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
like I say, he's an older guy. So, he done lived through the highs and the lows. He probably think it was gonna
Absolutely.
rise again. He didn't think he was gonna see
Right.
that.
Yep.
Man, that's
That's what he said.
is BG still open? Oh, that
Oh,
no
yeah.
doubt. Oh
Every day,
yeah.
man. Except when Larry decides he want to give his employees a day off. That happens every now and then, but they open from
Yeah,
7 to 12, man. Monday through Saturday is always packed over there.
yeah,
So
yeah, man.
that's yeah,
I ain't been in years, man. I don't think it's been like since like 2009, maybe. So I ate the BGs.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, he got it going on over there now. I think when you ate over there, he was probably just opening it. He was probably still serving lunch at that time.
Yeah, he would. He would.
Mhm.
Hmm. He sure was. Yeah, it was just lunch because Then he was closing at like 2 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I remember that. We used to go over there and eat all of the time. We used to take people over there that like donuts, like when we would have our meetings and stuff. When I was at
mhm.
Common Ground, Brian and I sometimes would take donors over there. We would make them come to the neighborhood and meet with us, and that'd be
Yeah,
one of the places we would eat at. Yep.
yeah. Man, so man, I also saw, man, you just went to San Juan, Puerto Rico. So
Right.
did you speak to a group of students over there?
No, so it was a group of so Center for Community Progress is a organization known nationally that's all about reclaiming vacant and abandoned properties. And so one of the ways that they do it is use the creative placemaking practices that I talked about. So there was a group of us here that gotten a fellowship with them, and our fellowship
Mhm.
ended last September, I think, when we went to Chicago. So one of the guys hit me up and he said, "Hey man, um, I know it's last minute, but do you mind if we fly you out to Puerto Rico, talk about what's going on in West Montgomery at the King's campus?" Because he
Ooh,
felt like it was a
ooh,
good grassroots model that's led by the people. And so I went and I spoke to other organizations that's going through this new cohort. And so there's
man,
a
you got some national recognition behind that.
yeah, man, yeah,
I mean, that's dope, man. But see, that go to show you that a lot of people seeing your work, which you know this already, but a lot of people are recognizing that. And
yeah,
the type of influence that you having over there in West Montgomery.
yeah, man. And
Yeah.
sometimes I don't think I really realize it because I'm just
Yeah, you
doing
always working.
yeah, I'm
Always
working.
working.
I
When you
don't
sit down, see what you gotta do, Kev, man. You gotta sit down and smell the roses. You gotta
yeah,
smell the roses a little bit yourself. Like, man, I done paid a beautiful canvas myself.
I hear you.
I mean,
I hear you,
speaking
bro.
of that, man, huh?
Maybe I need to do that.
Yeah, seriously. I'm serious, man. Man,
Mhm.
do you think Montgomery would get another Soul of the South event? It probably won't be soon, huh?
Uh, so so with that Soul of the South event, I think we can create anything we want to create here. I think Kalonji Gilchrist with 21 Dreams is a dope partner. He's a dope curator, and I think we rely on him heavily. We rely on his brain heavily and his organization to pull stuff
Right,
like that
right.
off, right?
Uh-huh.
So, but that event was curated by me, Daphne Bowens, and Milton Bowens. They from California, but they live in, well, actually, Milton's from California, but they live in Decatur, Alabama right now.
Uh-huh.
Um, but that event was out in Cali, and actually, the dude that I was on the phone with, I was on the phone with him, when you called,
Right,
when you
right,
look
right.
in, and he was saying that the work is being shipped back because the show is over. So I don't think it'll be called Solo of the South because I don't think we can jack that title.
Mm.
But I do think that, you know, we're gonna have more stuff coming.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
But see, you know what? I'm real glad to see that because I've been taking notes myself, being in the tech industry. And people are always
yeah,
talking about what's going on in Huntsville and
mm-hmm.
also in the Silicon Valley in California, which I'm working to bring a lot of those tech conferences and some of the job opportunities here. I mean,
Yeah,
because we had the space for it. We had the
right,
same platform. We definitely had the talent. So I mean,
right,
let's do it. I mean, let's bring it
yeah,
right to not only just let's say just the Air Force Base, we can bring it also over to West Montgomery. I mean, just
right,
like we had Trenton where I used to teach at, but I feel like, we need to make all those connections with Trenton, all the surrounding schools, Carver, Lanier, you name it.
right.
I
That's
wish
true.
St. Jude was open. I could do it with them. But
Yeah,
hey, like Life Academy is still an option. It
yeah.
still is.
Life Academy. Yeah, Life Academy is an option, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that because the
Yeah.
tech stuff sometimes go over my head. But no, you know, Boyd Stevens.
Of course I do. I attend a lot of his workshops and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And he's one of the reasons why the King's Canvas exists. But when you come over
Yeah.
there, you will see a pretty
Entrepreneurship, right? Yeah,
right, right.
entrepreneurship.
And
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
our artists go through it too. But we have a big piece of machinery out there that's like a wayfinding kiosk, and it has a lot of a lot of interaction, a lot of opportunities to interact and learn about what's in the neighborhood from
Mhm.
resources to attractions and restaurants and businesses in the community. But Boyd is working out something now, bro. That whole neighborhood is gonna have the whole neighborhood is gonna have free Wi-Fi, like in that vicinity, up into a certain
What?
radius. And
You
they're doing it,
gonna make me move back over there.
you know, and you will understand this thing. And he said something about gigabyte speed or some like that. Is
Yeah.
what it'll be. But one of the things he
Yeah.
said is that he wanted that area to be the most technologically tricked out place in Montgomery. He's actually doing it.
Well, you
But
know,
but you guys understand the significance more than I
right,
do.
right. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? Anything that's measured in gigabytes is moving.
Well, that's what it's gonna be.
Megabytes megabytes is okay. It's in the middle, but gig is top tier.
Well, that's what it's gonna be.
It's all right, yeah. But man, yeah, boy, yeah, I'm definitely reach out to Boyd anyway.
Yeah.
Definitely talk to him. But what do
Right.
you feel separates you from other artists around here in this area?
I don't know if anything separates me from them. I hate putting myself in a different category. I honestly
That's
think, as far as artists are concerned, I'm behind. I still feel like I'm in this process where I'm trying to find my creative voice. But I think if I would say uh, that I have something that's unique to me as a person, it's
mm-hmm.
the ability to take the stuff that I learned from Boyd during these classes, because I took those classes over 10 times, right? I was
I heard
taking
them
this.
guys pretty hard.
Yeah, well, it ain't. I mean, I was taking it all the way back in 15, 16 before he had pre-typed out notes for us. But taking that information, really diving into the science and applying it to this, because this is business too. And so a lot of artists, as artists, we don't make good business people sometimes. But it's like I feel like I kind of have both sides. Not just in my own artistry and learning how to do that, but also having to run an organization. It takes a certain amount of business savviness to do that. So I think that's one thing that kind of, and I'm gonna be honest with you, between me, Kalanja Gilchrist, Michelle Browder, we basically changed the art ecosystem in Montgomery, not just for Black artists, but for artists, period. And
I've been seeing a lot of your posts and a lot of your videos, but how did y'all go about doing so? Like, what are some of the steps y'all took in doing that?
I don't know if that was steps. I just know that all of us are cool and we just collaborated and we ran stuff by one another. We looked for opportunities and we had people like Michelle to say, yo, it's Juneteenth. Kalanja, Kevin, get some artists together.
Mm-hmm.
Let's paint a fountain. Kevin, you're really good at math, so make sure that the letters are laid out properly so when the drone hit it, it don't look crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just made a decision to collaborate, man. And sometimes, you know, we so divided, like I mentioned earlier, we end up
Yeah.
doing our own thing. I think that was
Right.
that was the major step, just being on
Mm-hmm.
one accord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I can say that too. With my involvement with some of the St. Jude tailgate reunions, I noticed that a lot of our people were divided at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I realized and divided for no reason, just that
Right.
this group don't talk to this group, and it was probably what I saw the divide was the old alumni did not want to meet the younger alumni.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I
Yeah.
got good, we gotta take that little stereotype out of there because we
Right.
all part of the
Absolutely.
same Jew. We gotta come together. Like you said
True.
earlier tonight, man, we just gotta really accept each other and collaborate. That's the only way we
Right.
gonna ever meet and make anything work.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So
That's
just
true.
working together. I just think us as a community, we got to continue working together. That's how a lot of these venues are actually appearing back over there in West Montgomery again, just like the good
Yeah.
old days when you can actually leave your screen door open in the nighttime.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest leaving your screen door open, but
I
I hear
wouldn't
what you're
either, but
saying.
I'm just saying for figure of speech.
I know it. I know it. I'm messing with you. Yeah,
I wouldn't either, man. But
that's
what
right.
are some of the upcoming events that's we having at the King's Campus?
So, upcoming events. Now, one that was confirmed yesterday, I think June 23rd, it's going to be Sunday Night Vibes with Just Jeter.
Yeah.
Uh, and so she brings a whole different flavor. She brings a lot of the BB King crowd with her. Other
Yeah.
than that, we have some people who have confirmed. I don't necessarily want to say who they are yet because they haven't really given me
Mm.
their information. We have an event there April 22nd that um, Renaissance is doing, not the hotel, but
The band.
No. It's not a halfway house. It's like transitional housing for formerly
Mm,
incarcerated. So I
okay.
guess it is like a halfway house, but they have an
Mm.
event on April 22nd at the King's Canvas. That's the next one, but we have an event May 6th. That's gonna be dope. It's called Bread and Butter Urban Tea Party, May 6th. I'm gonna be sending that out.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Send on that.
oh yeah, and so April, May, and June, but my email is Kevin at thekingscanvas.org. And
Mhm.
if someone sees this and want to hit me up, I can shoot you a link so you can, I can put you on our mailing list so you can hear about events coming up.
Yeah, yeah. I'm, definitely add me to the mailing list
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. I send it to you. I'll send
Okay,
it to you.
okay. All right, okay. Man, do you remember your first canvas that you painted or sold, and what was it?
Ooh, the first one that I painted and I sold, I think it was a painting of a young lady that had a short haircut with a microphone. And I sold it to a friend of mine that also went to Tuskegee, but she was from Philly. And
Uh-huh.
it looked like her and she sings, so she bought it. I think that was the first one.
What? Man, I wonder if she still got it. Probably so. I'm
Yeah,
sure she still got it.
yeah, she does. She still has it. But yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think I started painting in 2013 and I probably did that one in either 13 or 14. I think it was
Okay.
13, first year that I started painting. I think I sold it
That's
to it in.
cool. That's cool. So for people who don't know, how can they actually find a lot of your artwork, art by Kevin King?
Oh, so just follow me, Art by Kevin King, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Art by Kevin King. That's it. My personal art.
Uh-huh.
Anything dealing with the nonprofit, The King's Canvas, and you have to put the THE in the front. The King's Canvas.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And also too, you'll be able to find this episode tonight posted on all channels, Spotify, Amazon Music, um, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I had that to you by in the morning.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I really appreciate your time, stopping through and let us know what's going on in the King's Canvas and how you got started, and also, the work you did at Common Ground, because that's very powerful. I had no idea about Common Ground myself. So
Right.
I learned something new tonight too.
Right. Yep,
Yeah.
I was there 12 and a half years, man. So I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. And I definitely stop by the King's Campus pretty soon.
Yeah, just
Yep,
holler at me.
I will. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode. But that's it. What time is it again? You gotta read it. Right Now Radio.
Right now, radio. Right now, radio.